This week, we're lamenting about Tron Legacy on Your Positive Review with Ryan.
And Kamehameha Jamma. Yeah, he is wrong because Glinda's the good witch. She's not a princess.
No, the guy yelling is super wrong. That's not really the point. It's so funny. Just his logic is that she wore a crown and she came down in a bubble.
As a princess does.
But yeah, no, Glinda's definitely not a
princess. She's a good witch.
Yeah. I apologize if there is a lot of clinking of ice on this episode. We're trying a new iced chai coffee
thing
mixture.
We iced it.
That's really good.
Yes.
Yeah, and I got a bunch of Dalek ice cubes.
I got I'll remember it, the TARDISes.
Hey, good job. We need to watch Doctor Who.
No.
Yes.
Not for me.
This week, I started watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. You've been watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine for quite some time.
Yes.
That show is freaking hilarious. I mean, I feel like it's a bit more laugh out loud than The Office, because The Office is a lot of, I guess, sarcastic humor, and I mean, they're not completely, just so people don't yell at me, but a lot of The Office is kind of sarcastic humor. And Brooklyn Nine-Nine is also kind of filmed the same way, not with the talking heads, but kind of like the documentary style. Mm-hmm. That show's so freaking funny. It's so dumb. All the characters are just stupid. And it's so funny.
I like how it's like a funny cop show.
Yeah.
Because most cop shows are, very serious. So it's funny to see like a different side.
For anybody that doesn't know, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is a cop comedy show starring Andy Samberg.
He also produces it. Yeah,
I saw that. It's kind of cool. And Terry Crews. Terry Crews, who should be in more stuff. Obviously, I think he kind of gets typecast because he's very... I don't know how much of a range he has. I don't know the guy. And I've only seen him in comedies. But Terry Crews is always freaking hilarious. One of the reasons why I started buying Old Spice. I don't understand why the show didn't get renewed. I
don't either. I never looked into it. Yeah, I started watching it when I heard it got canceled, and then we saw that clip from...
the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, the Backstreet Boys clip, and then I was like, I need to watch that. And I've heard a lot about it before, but I finally started watching it, and luckily it was all on Hulu. Yeah. Shout out to Hulu. And
yeah, that show doesn't seem to freaking lag at all. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever.
Maybe it depends on which network you're watching it through. But I don't know. You think
maybe
ABC
the length
would
of
be
the
fine?
Show.
Yeah, possibly.
It's only half an hour.
It's only half an hour. But yeah, so I started watching it once I heard it got canceled, and then I've been watching it ever since.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
I watched the first episode with Miranda and Aaron because we just wanted to see if it would be funny.
Yeah.
And then I kept watching it. I don't think they did though. Well, I think they thought it was funny. They never have time to watch those.
Yeah, they don't have time for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the freaking Backstreet Boys.
I think that's in the last season.
Oh. Yeah. I don't know. That show is so funny. I don't understand why they wouldn't want to renew it.
Different network picked it up, so
yeah, that's
their
true.
loss.
And then I also finished Kingdom Hearts, which also leads into why we're talking about Tron Legacy, because in Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, they had a world called The Grid.
Oh.
And it made me really want to watch Tron Legacy. So
weird.
here we are. For anybody interested, Kingdom Hearts is not nearly as confusing as I first thought it was. When I first started this journey, if you remember, I said that Kingdom Hearts I thought was really confusing. It's actually not that confusing. I thought I'd have to watch all these like story explanation videos on YouTube, and I don't. So you really just have to do the whole thing. But I did want to point out how good the writing is in Kingdom Hearts, because they do a lot of things that I wish other stuff would do, where they set up future installments with like Easter eggs in the one before, and then the whole thing comes to fruition in the next game, and it's all done really well. And there's not a lot of retconning, which shows that Tetsuya Nomura had a plan and is actually sticking to it and writing it well.
Great. Anyways.
And then I started Persona 5 again. Maya saw how pretty this game was. The game is freaking gorgeous, and the music is amazing.
It's just anime.
Yeah. You didn't see the fighting and stuff yet.
And the guy looked like Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah.
Did you make him? Or is it
No,
like... Okay. Yeah, he looks like Harry
him.
Potter.
Yeah. If you see more of the game, because the combat and everything is all dungeon crawling, turn-based stuff.
What? Dungeon crawling?
Yes, you go through these...
Like they're crawling?
No. You go through levels. That's just what the term is, dungeon crawling. When you have a dungeon, you go into it, you're dungeon crawling.
Okay.
But they're just these levels, and they're not really dungeons, I guess. Like, the first one you do is a castle. But you do start in a dungeon.
Oh my god.
But it's got a really good game. I was talking to my friend Megan yesterday, about it, and the game has just really good, like, character development, and because the game is rated M for mature, they go into, like, really adult subject matters, and, like, accepting who you are and all this kind of stuff.
Accepting who you are is not an adult.
No, but like not necessarily when you're dealing with a lot, because Japanese culture, because the game takes place in Tokyo, Japanese culture is all very like, I feel like it's oppressive. Like it's not, because like I think Japan has the highest suicide rate.
Yeah, they have their own suicide forest. I heard.
Akihabara, I don't know. And they have like the lowest birthing rate. They're not reproducing.
Oh yeah, I think they're like going through a crisis, aren't they?
Yeah.
Or like potentially going to go into one if.
And so these games, I think, could potentially help people. I don't know if they do, but just trying to have people accept themselves and not feel pressured by their parents or society or whatever. And like the first dungeon you go to, spoilers, this game is for PS4 though, and you should buy it. The game's great.
How much is it at Target? I'm just kidding.
I don't know. It might be on sale now. The first dungeon you go to is like this guy who's sexually harassing. He's the coach of the volleyball team, and he's like sexually harassing the girls on the team.
Wow.
And all the girls are afraid to do something about it. So one girl ends up trying to kill herself to get out of it, and it's like,
jeez,
that doesn't help. And then you end up taking the dude down. And
nice.
Yeah, it was interesting because the first time I played it, I was like, this is the first guy? This guy's freaking evil. I mean, it only really gets worse from there.
Oh my gosh.
But you end up taking him down. It's really good. It's a really good game, man. It's good.
I bet. Oh, we lost pretty hard at trivia night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was depressing.
Yeah, the freaking last question where you can bet like 20 points. And so if you get the question right, you'll either get the 20 points or you lose the 20 points.
Yeah.
And the stupid question was, what two Central American nations border
Sandwich,
Costa Rica. We were the only team that got it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were losing anyways.
Yeah, we would have, even if we had gotten it right, we would have lost anyway. Cause
well, no, I think we Oh, yeah.
Because everybody wagered 20.
Yeah.
And we were
well,
last.
If everybody else had gotten it wrong, we had gotten it right, but...
Yeah. But if we had gotten it right, it wouldn't have mattered. Anyway.
So depressing.
So if you know the answer to that question, email me without looking it up.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can look it up, and I know now.
You can't cheat on trivia.
Yeah.
We couldn't look it up.
Yeah, we're not allowed to use our phones for anything.
I mean, we could have, but that'd be cheating, and we'd feel bad.
Yeah.
And we would have lost anyway, so no point to it.
Well, anyway, main event time. Main event time. So today, we're talking about Tron Legacy. Rated PG from Disney. I didn't really look up why, because it's PG. There's violence. There's a drop of blood. That looks really cool because it doesn't soak into the thing that it's on.
Oh.
Because it's all digital. So it's like hydrophobic surface. Came out December 17th, 2010.
That's 2 days after my birthday.
Yeah.
I think I turned...
Happy birthday. 8 years ago.
13? No, I turned 14 because that was the year I started freshman year. So I would turn 14, right?
How old are you now?
21?
Minus 8. You turned 12.
What? Not turned 12.
You're turning 22. You're
12.
You're turning... I don't math.
No, I
turning
just started
22.
high school.
You're turning 22 in 2018. So minus 8...
I turned 14.
Is... Yeah, 14.
12.
I don't math.
It's not 12 in high school.
Like, just stop making fun of me. Yeah, so came out then. Budget. This is a little depressing. The budget is between... one place I saw said it was $175 million. I'm sorry. Am I boring you?
No, sorry. I didn't go to sleep until like 11, and then I woke up at like 5:30. And I was just like in and out of sleep, so I just feel drowsy now.
Okay. All right. Well, fun.
All this math.
It's exhausting. Where were we?
Budget.
Budget. So one place I saw said it was 100. That's all staying then, by the way. That was hilarious. One place I saw said it was 175 million. The other place that I think I'm going to keep going with because it seemed like a more official site said that it was 200 million. So that might be including marketing. I don't really know though. So domestically, it only made $172 million. So in America, because when the first Tron came out, it cost I think $17 million to make. Granted, back then, so with inflation, it's probably a lot more, but. It was $17 million to make. It made $33 million, and Disney still considered it a failure.
What?
Even though it made like double its, like it made the money back and
over.
Yeah, but Disney considered it a failure back then, which is why it took them so long to even recognize.
Disney has such high standards, I guess.
Well, I know that they went through a period where they actually were bankrupt.
Oh.
So I mean, it kind of makes sense because I think it wasn't shortly before this because in Disney, there's what they call the Xerox era, where they used a bunch of old animations for stuff in new movies to save money. So, like, Robin Hood is considered part of the Fox Robin Hood movie, is part of the Xerox era. I think 101 Dalmatians is part of the Xerox era. So.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, worldwide, it made $400 million.
That's a lot of monies.
It definitely made quite a bit of money. So the summary really quick. Sam Flynn, a rebellious 27-year-old, is haunted by the mysterious disappearance of his father Kevin Flynn, a man once known as the world's leading video game developer. When Sam investigates a strange signal sent from the old Flynn's arcade, a signal that could only come from his father, he finds himself pulled into a digital world where Kevin has been trapped for 20 years. With the help of the fearless warrior Cora, father and son embark on a life-or-death journey across the cyber universe. A universe created by Kevin himself that has become far more advanced with vehicles, weapons, landscapes, and a ruthless villain who stop at nothing to prevent their escape.
Right? 20 years. It's a long time.
Yeah. considering that time moves differently there too.
Oh, yeah.
He did all that journey in like one night.
Huh.
Like,
Jeez.
not even one night. Like, he went in at night and he came out and it was still nighttime. Like, it wasn't like he went in at sunset, came out at sunrise.
Well, it only lasted 8 hours, so...
Did they say that?
Uh-huh, he said it will close after 8 hours.
Oh, duh.
Oh my gosh.
Oops. It's been a long time for old Kevin.
I like how they made him 27.
Why?
Because I feel like most of the time it's like younger. I literally thought that he was like between 18 and like 22. Because I feel like that for like stories like this where it's like the kid doesn't want to do anything with all this that he's like been given. They're usually younger. But I like that they made him 27. Maybe other people don't think like that, but I do.
Yeah, I didn't think that at all.
Just to show that even if you are 27, you can still feel lost. End podcast. That was our message for today.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay, so now friggin' pause this and go watch the movie somehow. I don't think it's on Netflix,
Nope.
so good luck. But watch it. It's super good. If
Can
nothing
you
else,
even find it? Like, doesn't Disney put their movies in a safe?
vault.
Yeah, vault. You like can't find. I've been trying to find the second Little Mermaid for years
Why?
because I think that's a fun movie. I just
Okay.
want it, and I can never find it.
Well, they usually
So
bundle it
aggravating.
with The Little Mermaid.
Well, I don't know. When the heck
'Cause-
was the last time they let the Little
Are
Mermaid
you
out
part
of
of
the
the
vault?
Disney Movie Club?
I think so.
I don't think you
I
are.
get emails sometimes from Disney.
Well, like telling you, like, hey, this is the movie of the month.
No. Well, I never read them, so I couldn't tell you.
When you're part of the Disney Movie Club, you get access to all kinds of Disney
Okay, well,
movies.
let me know when the Little Mermaid.
Well, if you ever sign up, let me know so that I can refer you. Also,
What?
anybody listening, if you ever sign up for the Disney Movie Club, let me know so I can refer
What?
you because I get discounted movies, and so do you. We both win.
Oh my gosh.
It's beautiful.
Do you
Anyway,
think they sell it at Disneyland?
it's
in the
gonna
Little
be
Mermaid
super
shop?
expensive, dude.
Ugh,
Any movies there are always like way overpriced.
that's annoying.
Yeah. Anyway, so go pause this video, watch the movie somehow, because now we're getting into spoilers, and I really don't want to ruin this movie. It is really good. Right off the bat, I'm not a huge fan of the original.
No. Oh my gosh.
Was that your first time watching it?
Yes. I was like, is this movie a joke? The first like 4 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
What? I mean, it got better, but
Kind of.
but I honestly like the way that they like started the movie. I just feel like was all wrong. I was like, what is going on? Like it was so confusing. And I feel like it gets explained, but I don't know. It was just like to start off a movie that way, just pure confusion for like the first 10 minutes. I was like, they're like really dragging this out. Because, you know, you have movies that start really fast, but it maybe only lasts for a few minutes until they like, but I feel like it went on a really long time. It made me feel like I was like gonna cry.
Yeah, the movie I think feels longer than it actually is because it is very
Yes.
boring.
Yeah, it's not.
And I obviously I was not born when the movie came out, so I try to watch it with that mindset. Like this was revolutionary at the time. At the time it was visually amazing. Like how did they do all of this? Their suits are glowing. There's all kinds of technological stuff. But the thing, like the first time we watched it, I think Mom got it from the library. And we watched it and we were like, wow, this movie is boring. For kids. It's not super exciting.
No.
And like all of the exciting bits, this is I realized as an adult, all the fighting and stuff has like no music. It's freaking silent other than like their footsteps and whatever laser computer thing they're doing. And it just is like, it feels weird. Because then there's music at the end, like emphasizing the defeat and the victory. But during the whole middle thing. And there is music in the movie. The first time I watched it, I was like, is there even music in this? Watching it this time, there is a score and there is music. And I don't know, it's just so bizarre. The acting's all good.
Yeah.
And I mean, it looks really interesting. I'm glad that they retained kind of like the darkness in the second one.
Oh, yes.
Like, it's all very dark in the computer. But
but it's just too much for me to handle.
Yeah.
I can't deal with how fake everything looks with the real people's faces. Just looks so bad.
Yeah, a lot of blue screen before they discovered green screen.
Yeah, maybe there wasn't a lot of music because they were on a pretty tight budget.
Well, $17 million back then was quite a bit of money.
I bet it went all into their graphics.
Yeah, probably. There was one cool thing, though, in the original. And there's an Army of Darkness reference. Not that you would get that reference. But to anybody who's watched Army of Darkness, there is an Army of Darkness reference in Alan's cubicle. And that was pretty fun.
But I mean, it's still a good movie to watch before you watch this one.
Yeah.
Tron Legacy.
Yeah.
Because it explains things.
Yeah.
And I mean, it is good. I mean, it starts weird. The middle of the movie's kind of weird. And it also kind of ends weird. But, because then you meet Flynn there.
Yeah, you mean all the...
the story continues into Tron Legacy, so...
Yeah, it is a pretty...
Makes it make more sense.
Yeah. Tron Legacy does a pretty good job of explaining it for people that haven't seen the original. Like, you don't really have to watch the original, but you get more, I think, of an emotional...
attachment.
Kick if you've seen the original.
I had no idea that there was original, and I saw this one in the theaters.
Legacy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did too.
I don't remember any of it. It was so long ago, but...
So freaking pretty, that movie. So, this isn't too bad, I guess, on Rotten Tomatoes. It's 51% on Rotten Tomatoes for the critics. Audience is 63%, which I think is a little sad. I feel like the audience score should be higher. IMDb gives it a 6.8, which is pretty high on their scale.
Yeah, that's true. Only 2 points behind Avengers.
Constantine, too. Constantine, I think, was 7-something.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. First of all, the music's all done by Daft Punk, who are one of my favorite musical artists.
Do they ever not wear helmets? Like, has anybody seen their faces before?
Yes.
Oh, I haven't.
I think they actually both have side projects.
Are they old?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I mean, I think they're older than me.
Are they cute?
I don't know.
Oh.
I
should look it up.
They both have side projects and where they don't wear the helmets.
Hmm.
So
I think it would be cool if they did wear the helmets all the time. So, like, nobody's ever seen their faces before. But that would also be really kind of scary, too.
Yeah,
for me.
Difficult.
I don't really like when I can't see people's faces.
Yeah. I did see one girl one time working at GameStop that had this really cool Daft Punk tattoo that had both their helmets and, like, a galaxy thing around it. It's pretty sweet. Anyway, I really like Daft Punk. It's cool seeing them in a little cameo in the movie.
Yes. They had really cool music.
They did.
Dun, 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 dun.
They did all the music for the movie. And the soundtrack, I bought the soundtrack. The soundtrack is super cool. Yes, the nice. CD. Ancient. The CD looks like their identity discs, and it's a black CD. Like the underside, instead of being that shiny mirror, is black. It's really cool. I don't know why. I don't know if that adds anything, but it looks cool. I do have one question. Why does Encom do most of its business at night? In the first one, Dillinger shows up in a cool neon helicopter at night. And in this one, they're doing a board meeting at night.
At night.
Do they not work during the day?
I don't know.
I'd hate to work for this company. And in the first one, they're doing that laser test thing at night.
Yeah.
They do all their business at night. What freaking company does that? I don't want to work for them. I like working during the day.
Oh my God.
Playing video games at night. This might be my favorite looking movie ever. I'd have to like reevaluate and just the look though is so cool when they go to, or when Sam goes to the digital world and then it switches to full screen and everything is freaking neon and dark. It's so cool.
Yes, looks much better than the original. Like how they got rid of the gray.
Yeah.
And did black.
And then, yeah.
Because then I feel like it makes the colors prettier.
Neon, yeah, it makes the neon pop out more. They went through a lot of work to make this.
I feel like for 2010, it looked pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, you can kind of tell that they did this interesting, or maybe not interesting is the right word, but weird thing where it's like but some of the green screen that they do, they make the background like out of focus.
Oh.
While the character's in focus, and so it kind of makes it look less real. Because it's like, obviously, they're not there. I don't know why they did that, but...
Well, maybe it was because it's not a real place. Well,
yeah.
It's not real life anyway, so they could really kind of make it look however they wanted.
Yeah.
And you can't really complain about it. The only thing that was weird to me was that guy's face.
Oh, yeah,
they made him look younger.
Yeah, I mean, you should have already watched the movie at this point. Shame on you if you haven't.
Jeez.
They de-age Jeff Bridges.
Yes.
To do a flashback scene, and then to also play the villain Clue. At the time, it was like super like, oh my gosh, freaking A.
Is it like the first movie that's ever done that?
No, I think maybe with computer graphics and that did it that well. But apparently when I was researching, the same technology that did that also did the aging for Brad Pitt in The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. It's the same technology.
The movie freaks me out.
But now that we've seen like Ego in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, where they de-aged Kurt Russell, and it looked like freaking A.
You can't
that
tell.
Looks really good. But I think it's because they used makeup. They used makeup and CGI, okay. Where this is just purely CGI.
CGI, yeah, it didn't look great.
Yeah, and it's also 8 years old.
Yeah.
If they did it now, it'd be like, holy crap.
Better. Right.
But at the time, like I said, when I first watched it, I was like, oh my god, he looks real. And now watching it, you're like, okay, no.
Seriously though, those guys look like Ego, and that guy look like they could be brothers. It was so weird to me.
They do, well, I mean, obviously this movie came out first.
Yes.
So Ego in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 looks a lot like Jeff Bridges.
Right.
The real Jeff Bridges, not Clue, but real Jeff Bridges.
I want to see a picture of them next to each other.
They're probably in a movie together.
So weird.
But something else I noticed that looked really cool, the fireworks that they use are all geometric shapes at first, and then the little sparks fall down. I thought that was funny because they're in a computer. So it's like everything is capable of being that precise. I love when movies fill the screen instead of using the frickin' widescreen bars. It drives me nuts. All of our TVs now are basically widescreen, and movies still insist on having like these. Like I think Infinity War has like giant black bars.
Oh,
like, why don't you frickin' fill the screen?
We should watch that movie.
Olivia Wilde is super cute in this movie. I had a crush on her for quite a while after seeing this. I think it's due to her cute little haircut. Her bangs are at an angle too, which I think is kind of cool.
That annoyed me. It's like, please make them the same height.
It shows that she's not like all the other computer programs, because all the other computer programs would be like freaking straight across. But since she's an ISO, and then I saw her with long hair, and I was like, you know what? No.
Wow.
You're a lot cuter with short hair. Anyway.
Jeez.
What?
Rude.
Sorry, Olivia Wilde. I know you're listening.
Yeah. I like you just the way you are.
Now, the ISOs are an interesting concept. Again, should have watched the movie. ISOs are like living beings that manifested inside the computer.
Whoa.
They like just showed up and were
I was reacting like the audience will when they hear that without seeing the movie. Interesting
thing, though. This same kind of concept, life manifesting inside a computer, was touched on in Black Mirror Season 3, Episode 1. The dude creates this computer game, and he, like, puts people, like, he clones people into the game, and the clones that he creates, like, have their own identity and consciousness. Ugh. And so he has them, like, trapped in the game just so he can play the video game. And the bad guy, is the cop from Game Night, the crazy neighbor. Yeah.
Oh my god, I love that movie.
Yeah, that's a good movie. Game Night.
Oh, we should have gotten Maya's mention. Maybe I can buy it and give it to you for Christmas, but we can watch it and have it in there. But before Christmas, I'll wrap it up and put it under the tree for you.
Okay. Like King Boomy with his neutral gin thing, Jeff Bridges very much wants to do nothing.
Well, King Boomy is doing it because he knows that the time will come and the time will present itself, and it did.
Yes.
So I think that's also kind of what, well, maybe not, but...
Yeah, that's not really what Jeff Bridges wanted to do,
no.
or Kevin Flynn. He just kind of wanted to not play the game.
Yeah.
In an attempt to beat Clue. I thought Clue was a pretty good villain, too. I don't think I put this anywhere in my notes, but...
Yeah, I was thinking that, too, because it's like, we said that good villains are villains who have the same motive, but what about villains being the same person as the hero? Is that a good villain?
I don't know if that necessarily makes them a good villain, but...
I mean, well, I was thinking about it, and I feel like it's not like cookie cutter, like, yeah, they have the same general motive, but the villain was just trying to do what his creator told him to do.
Yeah. Which,
I mean, I guess I don't think, obviously, Flynn intended him to take him so seriously. He should have been like, make it sort of perfect or something. But...
Well, I think at the end, when he says he wanted him to make the perfect system, but Jeff Bridges himself didn't understand what perfection was. And that perfection is unknowable. Like, right. You can't... Like, I think he says, you can't know it, yet it's in front of us all the time. Referring to his son. Like, obviously his son isn't perfect. From a dad to his son, the dad views his son as perfect. It's really interesting motivation for...
But, I mean, going back to him being a good villain, other than his motives, he wasn't funny. He
wasn't really jokey, which I appreciate.
Yeah, when he was wearing a helmet, he was kind of scary.
Mm-hmm.
Like, intimidating. So, yeah, he was a good villain.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Good job, Disney. Other than his face, he was great. Just kidding.
I do like the part when he's giving that crazy speech and the wind is blowing and you see his hair moving. Like, not the whole thing, just like he's got one little strand at a place and it's like blowing in the breeze. I was like, frickin' hey, that looks good.
Yeah, there's, the one part where he sees Flynn again and he was like, Clue says, like, time has not treated you well or something, or just something like, or time
hasn't been kind.
Yeah, and then Flynn's like, you don't look too bad. That's really funny. I feel like they had, like, funny, like, the movie's obviously not a comedy, but they had, like, really funny parts. Kind of like in Constantine, where it wasn't, like, outright, like, a joke.
Yeah.
But it was just more, like, just, like, a funny one-liner, kind of.
Yeah.
That was more, like, sarcastic than it was.
Yeah. I think they hit better, and because there's so little of them. Like, because there isn't a joke every minute.
Yeah.
When there is a joke, it's like,
yeah,
that's good.
It's funny.
Yeah. And then frickin' twist of the movie, the bad guy's, like, right-hand man enforcer was Tron the whole time. There's a lot of Easter eggs, kind of...
I kind of guessed it, but...
Yeah, and right off the bat, when he fights Sam, and he cuts Sam and he's bleeding, and he won't kill him because Tron fights for the users. He's not going to kill a user.
Aww.
So it's like, right off the bat, you kind of figure it out. I feel like they didn't really do
a lot with Tron, though, because, I mean, at the end he just falls into a river, and then he turns blue. Like, is he dead?
I don't think the intention was for him to be dead. I think the intention was for him to come back in the third one. And save the day.
Freaking Disney.
Yeah. It's very sad. But yeah, when Rinsler finally, in the final chase scene, fights back against Clue, and he sacrifices himself, it freaking gave me chills, dude. Which is cool. It's good.
The whole end of the movie, my heart was beating so fast.
Yeah. Anytime there's I think this movie also has self-sacrifice, which I'm pretty sure. Okay, let's go back real quick. Now we have Tron Legacy,
Constantine,
Sucker Punch, Constantine,
right?
Infinity War, even though he doesn't die. I mean, Jumanji kind of has a sacrifice. Freaking Alan is about to get shot and willing to get shot in order to finish the game. And Tomorrowland, I'm not sure. So most of the movies,
still a good movie.
Most of the movies we cover, apparently, unintentionally. I'm not attempting to find all of these self-sacrificing movies. And then Cora gets to see a sunrise, which was written into the whole thing when she's talking to Flynn. They're bonding over the sun, and because she doesn't know, because she was born in a computer, she gets to see the sunrise.
And she gets to feel warmth.
Yeah, I thought that was a really cool way to end the movie.
And she gets to feel love.
Yeah, it's good. The movie's good.
The movie's really good. Like, I can't believe it didn't do very well.
Yeah, well, I mean, it made its money.
It was much better than the first one.
Okay, now...
I do actually like that the first one is so, like, incredibly, like, visually just bad. And then the first one is, like, really good because I think that even though it is hard to watch...
The first one is really good?
No, I'm sorry. The second one is really good.
Okay.
So yeah, the first one's very visually bad, but the second one's very, like, visually appealing because it does show, like, a technology progression.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, visually.
Yeah. That
wasn't
intentional.
Sense. No, not at all. Yeah. But, like, obviously, I don't think they had that all planned out.
No.
But I think it's cool because it's, like, obviously technology has greatly progressed in such little time.
Yeah.
And you can really see that through these movies, so I thought that was cool.
It was, yeah. And it's a cool little unintentional thing.
And because it's like they're inside a computer program, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, on like the outside, it has changed visually.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But it also like shows a change on the inside.
Yeah. And like with video games too. Like the video games they showed in Tron, the original classic masterpiece according to the box. The video games are all really simple.
Yes.
And now, in 2010, the video games are crazy. So like you said, it's just a progression of technology. So it's kind of cool that it worked out that
Disney.
way. Yeah. So consensus now on Rotten Tomatoes. Tron Legacy boasts dazzling visuals, but its human characters and story get lost amidst its state-of-the-art production design.
Wrong.
I know that I've said this before. We've both said it, I think. People don't like to think with movies.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when we were watching this one.
But the critics are all people who like to think. Mm-hmm. So how can you not figure this out?
Well, this one isn't even that
difficult.
Exactly. I think it's a good story.
So frustrating.
Like, he went to go save his dad.
Yeah.
Because he was hoping that his dad was still out there.
Yeah.
So it's like, even after 20 years, so it shows that he still had hope, even though he had every reason to just be like, he's dead, there's no point.
Even though that's what he told Alan. He's probably dead or on a beach in wherever he said. I think he said Costa Rica.
So it shows a good father-son relationship.
Yeah. And then when he gets there, he finds out that the problem is a lot bigger than he initially thought. The problem isn't just that his dad is trapped. The problem is that this dude wants to take over the world, which is a very typical, potentially boring motivation.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to take over the world. But I think it's done well because of who the villain is.
Yes.
The villain is this creature that is obsessed or designed to make things perfect.
Yeah.
And when he's already made the grid perfect in his mind, even though it's not, there's rebels, all that kind of stuff. In his mind, he's made the perfect system, so now he needs to go beyond that and make things more perfect. There is a lot of cool character depth. Kevin Flynn blames himself, obviously, because he created Clue. Sam's trying to find his father. He has hope for his father. Cora is this kind of cool, capable warrior lady. But because she is born in this computer, she is kind of naive. Like, she doesn't really... There's that joke when she says she loves Jules Verne, and Sam's like, yeah, I know Jules Verne. She's like, really? What's he like? She doesn't get that colloquialism.
Sure.
I think I said it right the third time.
Sounds good.
And then Clue, I thought was interesting because he's incredibly like the MCP, who was the bad guy from the first one. But kind of opposite, because the MCP was trying to cut off the computer system from the real world and make them their own thing. Clue is doing the opposite, going into the real world. So I thought that was interesting. And it also continues to explain why Flynn probably feels bad, because he realizes he took down the MCP in the first one.
Then he just created something almost worse.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, definitely worse.
So I don't understand how its human characters and story got lost. I figured it out. Wasn't that hard? I figured it out in one friggin' watching of it. Anyway.
It's so weird. I just don't get it.
I really don't understand. Like, doing this, I think, has made me appreciate more movies that I wouldn't. Like, I liked the movie on the book, To All the Boys I've Loved Before. I don't think I'd ever have liked that movie otherwise. I mean, it's this podcast has helped me view things in a more positive light. So I think positivity really just takes practice. But
yeah, critics.
I don't understand why you just... I think you said it a while ago. Why are you gonna watch stuff if you're just gonna completely tear it apart?
Yeah, but what? I mean, I understand watching a movie and being like, oh, it's just not just really my cup of tea. But then just sitting there and being like, but its human characters and story get lost amidst its state-of-the-art production design. It's like, what? What? How did the story get lost?
Yeah.
It didn't at all.
The movie is obviously gorgeous.
Yeah.
But
the
there's still is good. Dialogue. Yeah. How do you just zone out when they start talking? I don't...
it's not boring in any way. I mean, definitely the first one was, but this one... It's not boring. It's not I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to why people would think that the story got lost and the characters did too.
I don't know, man.
It's ridiculous.
I don't know. So now for some fun complaints from annoying people. For a far more thought-provoking tale about the virtual realm, try The Social Network from Claudia Puig from USA Today. She gave it a 2 out of 4. How are you comparing...
Social Network.
It's the movie about Facebook.
What?
How are you comparing these movies?
Oh my gosh.
Dude, it's not even close. I don't... It's just... God.
Are you aware of genres?
Yeah.
Good one.
Thanks. It is baffling how...
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
You're even comparing The Social Network and Tron.
All right, Claudia, go get a life.
And then Stephen Whitty from the Newark Star Ledger, who gave it a 2.5 out of 4, said, it is genuinely exciting to see where this brave new role of CGI and 3D is leading. But on the whole, this isn't really much of a legacy or even as much fun as a round of Space Invaders.
What? What?
I hate the game Space Invaders, first of all. Secondly...
And we do not like you either, Stephen Whitty.
How's it not fun?
It was so fun to watch.
It's full of action. It's freaking gorgeous. Pretty. It's got super good music.
Yeah, the fight scenes where, Daft Punk, you actually see them in the movie. That was fun.
They're DJing. They look at the fight going on, and then they go back to... They change the song to something that fits the fight.
I wonder if they died in the fight.
I don't know. I know they were in their box. Maybe they got out before Clue blew it up.
Yeah. Oh.
And then I did want to shout out to Ian Buckwalter from NPR, who only gave it a 5.9 out of 10, but he said, despite all the gloom and grandiosity, this can be a fun movie, particularly for those willing to sit back and let it wash over them. I just really liked the idea of letting it wash over you.
But
Just wash me in your Tron.
in your Tron. Okay.
I don't necessarily agree. Well, I guess the gloom and grandiosity, because you found the movie sad.
Well, yeah, because his dad dies.
Yeah. His dad sacrifices himself to get rid of Clue because the reintegration of the two, apparently, Flynn wouldn't survive because he's old.
He exploded.
With cool god eyes, though.
And then he exploded the whole grid, so...
Well, not the whole grid. He just exploded
looks
the
like
whole
it.
section.
Oh. No more computers.
Oh, God. So, I guess I guess I kind of understand, because the movie does end on a pretty somber note. But I think they were kind of
planning on...
I guess it depends on how you look at it. Because, like I said, Cora gets to see a sunrise. She got out. Now she's alive, and she's no longer being hunted. And
yeah, I mean, it's not a bad way to end a movie. Like, they didn't have to make a third one the way that it ended.
Yeah.
Other than with, like, the questions about Tron.
And
but,
Dillinger, the new Dillinger, the young guy.
Right. What actor played him?
Cillian Murphy, in an uncredited role, because they wanted to do a third one where he was more in it.
Well, that's annoying. Who's he?
Yeah. Scarecrow.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
He just looked different with his hair.
He had a beard.
Yeah, that too. Were we saying something?
We were talking about the gloom and grandiosity.
Oh.
I don't understand how grandiosity is necessarily bad. I mean, it looks big and crazy, but I guess it is a little sad. But it is a fun movie. And then Roger Ebert,
Our friend.
our friend,
This time.
he gave it a 3 out of 4.
Nice.
That's pretty impressive.
If he likes it, anyone can like it.
Yeah, it's a good movie though. I really don't understand the hate.
People just love to hate.
Yeah.
Haters gonna hate.
And Tater's gonna take.
Hate.
Okay. So, fun fact time. Olivia Wilde is the only actor in the film playing a program who doesn't wear contact lenses for their role due to the natural intensity of her eyes.
So wild. See what I did there?
Yes. This is not including Clue or Tron, who are created in the images of their users. So, it's interesting because if you do notice, all of the programs have contact lenses, but then Olivia Wilde doesn't. And I think that also adds to the fact that she's an ISO. Like, she has natural eyes. And her eyes are, Olivia Wilde's eyes are crazy.
I don't really remember them. Were they blue?
Like greenish blue, yeah.
Oh, okay.
When standing over the board game with black and white stones, you remember that thing?
Yes.
Cora mentions to Sam that she rarely beats Kevin at it. The board game is in fact Go, a game that is notoriously difficult for computer programs to play well. Unlike chess, where computers are able to beat the world's best human players, when the movie was filmed, the best Go computer programs were only able to reach an intermediate amateur level, which explains why Cora, being a computer programmer, would rarely be able to beat Kevin.
That kind of like freaks me out.
Why?
Thinking that computers can be...
Well, not at Go, apparently.
I know, but it's like, why?
I don't know, because people want to create the apocalypse.
How does a computer not understand Go? Was that on purpose? Or did a computer just know?
Maybe it's because Go has improvisation, and I think computers are notoriously bad at improvising.
See, why are we talking about computers like they can think?
Because they can, man. What do you think Siri is?
I'm scared.
Yeah, I know. We're creating the Matrix or Terminator, one or the other. But I thought that was interesting because it's like that's never explained in the movie, and it's like that's only something a super huge computer nerd would know. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Those people.
Okay. This one is a little... I'm not super convinced on this one, so take this one with a grain of salt. Throughout most of the movie, Rinsler can be heard making purring or clicking sounds.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I think it happened like once. This is due to his corrupted changed data. Towards the end of the movie, when Rinsler sinks down into the water, his illuminations turn from red to white, and his purring cease. What? Yeah, because he's underwater. It's at this point that Rinsler's corruption is gone, and he's become Tron again. Obviously,
I'm sad.
This freaking thing changed. Yeah, I'm really sad that we're never going to freaking know.
Yes, he's just floating in the water.
Because the next fun fact, which isn't really fun, Disney decided to not do a third Tron film. However, in 2017, Disney announced that the Tron film franchise was to be rebooted, and Jared Leto was rumored to star.
Jared Leto's a weirdo.
Yeah. He's a good actor, but...
But he's, like, so weird.
Yeah. Why do you gotta reboot it? Why didn't you just freaking make another one? Or leave it alone?
Make another one and make it about Sam's kid, okay?
And if you do it where he's like a kid,
well, no,
then it's only
8 years later. Like, they could still do a third one and just make Sam 8 years older.
This whole time, some other Clue replacement has been building up an army, and then they invade our world. You could do it, Disney. I just freaking made it up right now in, a minute? Anyway, so last fun fact. After finishing work on the film, Olivia Wilde starred in another science fiction film, Cowboys and Aliens, which also starred Sam Rockwell. And then Sam Rockwell was in Seven Psychopaths with Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson was in Zombieland with Bill Murray. Bill Murray was in Wild Things with Kevin Bacon. This movie connects to Bacon in 5 steps. But the other connection is Jeff Bridges also starred in R.I.P.D. with Kevin, but that one isn't nearly as long.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
Wow.
So now it's time for Maya's Mention. Oh
god. Right, so this segment is just where I mention a movie that's not really controversial or anything. It's not like they're not really big name films, I guess. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Usually rom-coms. We save the action movies for the main event. So today I'm going to mention The Proposal, starring Ryan Reynolds and Sandra Bullock. I think it's also produced by Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, I saw that in there. That was interesting.
Yeah, I love Sandra Bullock.
Good for her.
She's a great actor. She's got great range.
Yeah, she did a really good job playing an evil business lady.
Oh, yeah?
And then in Speed, she was like the lady who was super nervous about driving the bus. So.
Yes, that movie. That's a good movie. And then she also did the movie about the football player. What's that called again?
Oh, The Blind Side.
Yes,
yeah.
Great movie starring her too. But yeah.
She had a southern accent.
This movie's just non-stop thrills of laughter.
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds is always hilarious, no matter what he's in. I think he's played some serious roles, but he always manages to frickin' slip a joke in there. Even on his Twitter, did you hear about what he did on Twitter?
No. He
frickin' called out not Winnie the Pooh, Paddington.
For what?
Because I guess Deadpool got nominated for something, and so on Twitter he was like, "Thanks for getting Deadpool in whatever category. Now we're shooting for the family film category." It's like, obviously Deadpool is not a family film. And he's like, "And we're coming for you, Paddington."
Oh my gosh.
And then, like, everybody started defending Paddington. And then, like,
Obviously,
Paddington...
it's a joke.
Yeah, on Paddington's Twitter, he posted this, like, thing where he's, like, stares intently at Ryan Reynolds.
Oh.
It was goofy. Anyway. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Ryan Reynolds is great. Frickin' has Oscar from The Office in it.
Oh, yeah.
Is his name Oscar in this, too?
Ramon.
Oh, that's it, yeah. Playing literally every employee in little
Sitka.
Town. I wonder if Sitka's a real place.
I don't know.
Look that up.
Yeah, I like how it is set in Alaska.
Yeah,
I feel like you don't see a lot of movies set in Alaska. And they, like, show, like, how it stays daytime the whole day.
Yeah.
Never goes to night.
There's a Christopher Nolan movie called Insomnia that takes place in...
Okay, well, I'm just saying most movies.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying I figured out another one.
Yes.
Sandra Bullock is hilarious. The premise...
Well, Sandra Bullock is a Canadian who's about to get deported because her visa's expired. But she's also the boss, the editor of a publishing company, and they told her that she's going to be fired because she has to go to be in Canada for a whole year before she can come back, and obviously she doesn't want to lose her position. So she lies and tells them that she's going to marry Ryan Reynolds, who is her assistant, so that she can get a green card. And then obviously they have to it's just this huge lie that they have to play out so that he doesn't go to jail and she doesn't get deported.
Yeah.
So they go to Alaska for Ryan Reynolds' grandma's 90th birthday, and then he has to tell his family that they're getting married, and their family's so excited. They're like, oh, just get married this weekend.
Yeah.
And then, they end up falling in love throughout the weekend. And, it's so funny at the end because, she leaves because she can't go through with it because she falls in love with him and she doesn't want to, ruin his life.
Yeah.
So she goes back and he tries chasing after her. And then she's, back in her office packing up, and then he comes, and it's, it's a rom-com, so it's all very cute. And it's so funny when he's like, I want to marry you so I can date you.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
So I guess this is a spoiler-full proposal. But it's a rom-com. It's more about the jokes than the actual story. So all the jokes and the romance.
Yeah, it's a funny story.
It is very funny. I think I saw it in theaters too because it had Ryan Reynolds, and so I was like, hey. And any movie that has "Get Low" by Lil Jon, I'm a fan of. That song is hilarious, and it's got a good beat.
So watch that movie. I think it's probably at Target.
I'm pretty sure it's at Target. It's $5.
Yeah,
usually
$5.
On their DVD for sale rack.
But I wanted to talk about To All the Boys I Loved Before, because we mentioned that 2 podcasts ago on Constantine. So I'm reading the second book, and I realized that in the movie they actually overlapped with the second book. Because the movie just ends, the book just ends before anything's reconciled.
Oh God.
Yeah, so it just ends, and I was like, oh man, good thing they did not do that for the movie.
Yeah, that would have been
Yeah, so it the movie kind of goes a few chapters into the second book, but that's really it. But in the second book, I'm realizing I don't know what they're really going to do for the second movie if they end up making one, because the whole video that came out of her and Peter
in the hot tub.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
That's a big deal in the second one. Where it's it's very drawn out, and it's way crazier than they did it in the second one.
Well, nothing on the internet is ever gone. So
yeah, so I'm saying they can still do, because in the first one it's not everything's reconciled, but
yeah,
I'm just saying in the second one it's very way more drawn out, and she knows it's Genevieve who posted it, but Peter doesn't want to believe it, and it's just all this stuff where, and then people in the library, they took screenshots of it and then made it as the desktop and all the computers. Yeah, it's a huge deal in the second one, and that's why it was very interesting. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention that.
Fun.
Yeah. Not that it's that important, but I thought it was
interesting.
interesting.
It is interesting. I'm sure, they can do that.
Yeah, they can.
It's not it's going to be a huge... Because Genevieve can be super upset that they're now officially dating, and then she brings it back. She could still have the video just because it was taken down from Instagram, and that movie doesn't mean it's
I feel like Genevieve's over. Also a lot more evil in the books than she was in.
I don't know. She's pretty evil in the movie.
True.
I love the line. It was spin the bottle, you psycho.
Yeah, it's also different in the book because actually it wasn't during when Peter... Yeah, it wasn't during Spin the Bottle. He just kissed
spoilers
Lara Jean.
To All the Boys I've Loved Before.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. So, Proposal. Go watch it. $5 at Target. Movie. I think it's on... Might be on Netflix. I think I've seen it on there.
The Proposal?
Yeah.
Oh. It was at one point. I don't know if it is anymore.
Yeah, but it's only $5 at Target. It's good. Now, we're going to do something new today. I kind of am hesitant to do this because basically I want to do a shout-out section to the people that are supporting us.
Well, we can do it occasionally.
Well, the thing is we have, at this point, 13 subscribers on YouTube.
Nice.
But I can only get the notification that you've subscribed if you make, like, who you are public. So I only, even though we have 13 subscribers, I can't shout them all out because I only know 4.
That's weird.
Or 5. So if you want to, if you can prove to me, if you can just like screenshot our channel on your phone with the little subscribe button pushed, I know what it looks like pushed. Screenshot it, email us, email the picture to us at yourpositivereview@gmail.com, or to our, send a DM me on Instagram at yourpositivereview. I can shout you out. So that's really the simplest way to do this. But if you make yourself public, I can do it easily. But so first shout out is to our dad.
Woo! Love that guy.
And he was
Just
also
kidding.
our first subscriber, which is
He
kind of
disowned me this weekend.
cool.
Just so everybody
'cause of the
knows.
Pittsburgh, Philadelphia debacle.
Yeah. Total
Well,
accident.
I think he said
Just
if
happens.
you do it again, he would disown you.
No. Let me read the text message. Maybe it does. I can't really remember. Oh, yeah. If you ever refer, you will be disowned. Oh, no, it just says, if you ever refer to Pittsburgh as Philadelphia, you will be disowned. I already did it. He disowned me.
JK, but not JK, but sort of JK, but not.
I didn't have the time or the brain power to figure that out.
There's a lot of
I don't know.
negatives. I don't
Yes.
know how many negatives
know.
cancel out. Anyway.
Exactly.
But he was our first subscriber, so thanks, Dad. And then Corey S. I don't want to necessarily shout out their
Corey
last name.
S.
Corey.
What other Corys?
I don't know.
Subscribe
I just
to
want to
us.
make. I don't
Oh,
know.
okay, I
Maybe
guess.
there are multiple.
Corey, the
Anyway.
one that we know.
Yes, Corey S. Do you mind?
I'm sorry.
talking. Corey S., who is also going to be on our last Jedi episode.
Still haven't seen that movie.
Yeah. Whenever we do that one, he will be on it. I don't really know how it's going to work out, but whatever. And then Megan M. wanted to shout her out because she texted me and she's been super cool. She was also our first commenter.
Oh, what did she comment?
She commented on the Constantine episode, on the bad one that I had to remove. So sorry, Megan, for removing her comment.
Oh, that's sad. What'd she say?
She just was giving her own opinion on Constantine. It was cool.
Oh,
Anyway,
that's cool.
and
Thanks,
then
Megan.
and then Jordan B, who I'm going to play D&D with tonight.
Why did
which will
you
be
just
fun.
put his name? It doesn't even say what he did.
Because he subscribed.
Oh.
My God.
I'm sorry you had something different for each person than
Yeah.
it just says his name.
Well, I didn't know what I'm playing D with D and
Oh
him,
my
him
gosh.
tonight. Anyway, why'd you freaking throw him under the bus like that? Now he's gonna
I don't know. It's
Assuming he
just
listens this far into the
funny.
episode. And then Sky M, who we used to go to church with. He was in the youth group.
Right.
Yeah. He subscribed the other day. I was
Oh,
like, oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sky.
hey. Yeah.
Miss
cool.
ya.
So, yeah, shout out to all those people. Again, if you want to prove to me that you're a subscriber, then I can shout you out, because otherwise I can't tell. It doesn't let me look at my subscribers. It just gives me the number. Yeah, so send those emails to yourpositivereview@gmail.com. If you have any questions, theories,
Thoughts?
yes, just send them to us there. We would like to interact with the people watching. I think that'd be fun for everybody. So,
For everyone involved.
yeah. So next week, we are going to have a special guest, and we will be covering Big Trouble in Little China, which actually technically might be cheating if you look it up, if anybody cares. But we're going to be going off of the reviews that came out when the movie came out, because it did terribly at the box office, and nobody really liked it back then. Now, everybody thinks it's a cult classic and all that kind of stuff, but our guest really wanted to cover that, so that's what we'll be doing next week. So tons of fun coming your way.
Remember, well liked or panned, every story has a positive, and you're not alone in finding it. Paw Patrol to Major Tom.
So yeah.
In the getaway car. Okay, sorry. I had to get that out.